The first thing Ambassador Elana of Kalar noticed about Earth was that it was trying to kill her. Not metaphorically, literally. Her shuttle shook violently as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Storm clouds stretched across the sky like dark continents, and lightning cracked through them with terrifying force. The ship's sensors screamed warnings. Turbulence, temperature spikes, atmospheric instability. Elana leaned forward in her seat, her golden slit pupil eyes glowing faintly in the dim cockpit. "Your planet is unstable," she said calmly. Across from her, Stephen Holston barely looked concerned. The human bodyguard leaned back casually, one arm resting on the console. "Yeah," he replied. "Tuesday weather." Elana stared. She had faced predators larger than warships on her homeworld of Ka, a brutal Class 11 death world. But this planet seemed determined to destroy anything, and yet, billions of humans lived here. Stephen glanced at the sensor panel. "Relax. The landing gets rough sometimes." "Sometimes." Elana's claws lightly tapped the armrest as the shuttle shook again. "You call this normal?" Stephen smiled. "Welcome to Earth, the planet of chaos." When the shuttle finally landed, Elana stepped onto Earth soil for the first time. Immediately, her instincts screamed. The air was dense with unfamiliar scents. Moist soil, plant life, animal pheromones, thousands of living things hiding just beyond sight. Predators, prey, movement everywhere. Her Kyari instincts repeated the same message. Danger. "This is one of the safer regions," Stephen said calmly, walking beside her. "Safer?" she echoed, glancing toward distant mountains where storm clouds still rolled. "Most of the planet," he added casually. Elana exhaled slowly. For the first time in years, she felt impressed. The human government had organized a demonstration for their alien guest. Elana stood on a high observation platform overlooking a massive canyon. Hundreds of humans gathered nearby, wearing colorful suits and strange equipment. Stephen stood beside her. "You're about to see something fun." Elana narrowed her eyes. "What are they doing?" "Jumping," Stephen answered casually. The canyon dropped nearly a kilometer, jagged rock formations waiting below, and the wind howled violently. "You mean suicide?" Stephen chuckled. "Nope. Right on cue." The first human stepped forward, waving cheerfully at the crowd, and jumped. Elana's eyes widened as the human plummeted at terrifying speed. For several seconds, there was nothing but gravity and death. Then a colorful fabric device exploded open behind him. A parachute. He drifted safely toward the canyon floor. Another human jumped, then another. Elana slowly turned to Stephen. "They do this willingly?" "Yep." "Why?" Stephen shrugged. "Fun." Elana stared at him for several seconds. "You are an insane species." Stephen grinned. "Probably." Later that day, he took her to the coast. The ocean stretched endlessly toward the horizon, waves slamming against the rocky shoreline with tremendous force. The water smelled powerful, ancient, alive. Elana's instincts pricked again. "Large predators," she said quietly. Stephen nodded. "Oh yeah, how large?" "Some bigger than your shuttle," he thought. Elana's pupils narrowed. "And humans enter this water all the time?" Right then, several humans ran past them carrying long boards, rushing straight into the waves. One leaped onto a board, riding a massive wave toward shore, water crashing violently behind him. The human cheered with excitement. Elana watched silently. This species actively seeks danger. "Why?" she asked. "Because it's there," Stephen replied. As evening fell, he brought Elana to a human city. Lights stretched across the horizon like a glowing ocean. Millions of humans moved through the streets, eating, talking, working, laughing. Life everywhere. Elana watched quietly from a rooftop, her golden eyes scanning the city. This planet should not support a civilization. "Why not?" Stephen asked. "It is chaotic, dangerous, unpredictable." "Yep, and yet humans thrive here also." Elana looked at him slowly. "Your species did not conquer this planet." Stephen waited. "You survived it. Now you're getting it," he said, smiling slightly. The moment shattered when alarms screamed across the city. Emergency sirens filled the night. Stephen's posture changed instantly. "What is that?" Elana asked. "Trouble." A massive explosion erupted several blocks away. Smoke and fire climbed into the sky. Stephen's eyes hardened. Terrorist attack. Before Elana could react, Stephen was already moving, sprinting toward the explosion. They reached the burning building within minutes. Humans were trapped inside, flames roaring through shattered windows. Emergency crews arrived, but the fire spread rapidly. Without hesitation, Stephen ran straight toward the entrance. Elana grabbed his arm. "You will die." "Maybe," he replied calmly, then pulled free and disappeared into the flames. Elana froze for a second. Her instincts screamed not to follow. The fire was lethal, the building unstable, but something inside her refused to stay behind. With a frustrated growl, she ran after him. Heat slammed into them instantly, smoke filling the corridors. Stephen moved quickly through the burning hallway. "Two people upstairs," someone shouted. He charged up the staircase. Elana followed. The second floor was worse. Flames crawled along the walls. Stephen kicked open a door. Two humans were trapped inside. He grabbed one. Elana lifted the other effortlessly. They rushed back toward the exit. A beam collapsed behind them. Seconds later, they burst into the street. Firefighters rushed forward. The rescued humans were pulled to safety. Stephen dropped to one knee, breathing heavily. Elana stood beside him, smoke rising from her combat mantle. The crowd stared in awe. The alien ambassador had just run into a burning building. "You didn't have to do that," Stephen said. Elana stared at the fire silently. Then she spoke unexpectedly. "Now I understand." Later that night, they stood again on the rooftop overlooking the city. Emergency lights still flashed in the distance. "This planet is not the reason humans are dangerous," she said quietly. "Oh, it is what living here does to you," Stephen replied. She turned toward him, golden eyes glowing softly. "Your species has learned something extraordinary." "What's that?" "You run toward danger." Stephen smiled slightly. "Sometimes. Always." She stepped closer. Her voice softened. "And now I understand why the galaxy fears humans." "Why is that?" Elana looked back at the city. Millions of humans living their chaotic, dangerous lives. "You do not fear the dark. You challenge it. And you protect those who stand beside you." Stephen chuckled quietly. "Yeah, that too." Elana studied his face for a long moment. "Stephen Holston?" "Yes. I am glad you are my bodyguard." "Me too," he replied, smiling. She hesitated slightly, then added softly, "And perhaps something more." Stephen blinked. "Wait." But Elana had already turned away, hiding the faintest hint of a smile. Far above Earth, satellites and alien observers watched everything. The reports spread quickly across the stars. The Deathworld ambassador of Ka had visited Earth, and instead of fearing humanity, she had joined them in running toward danger. Across the galaxy, one conclusion became impossible to ignore. One Deathworld species was terrifying. Two working together, something far worse. And somewhere in the darkness between stars, entire empires quietly began reconsidering their plans. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.